Hello, my name is Ojibe and welcome to Brandtok. All right, so today we're going to be talking about mentorship and how important it is when it comes to business. And with me, I have Dorathy Simeon, who is an amazing person and someone I've come to know for quite a while now. Dorothy is someone that is passionate about reducing the disparity, the gender disparity in the tech industry or in the tech ecosystem, especially in Africa and Nigeria specifically. And she's a programs coordinator for Wentors. Now, Wentors is in the business of linking female tech enthusiasts. Am I right? With potential with their mentors or providing mentorship providing some sort of mentorship training for female tech enthusiasts. Dora, correct me if I'm wrong, please.
Yes, correct.
So she's the program coordinator. Now, the reason why I decided to bring you on, Dora, is because we're talking about mentorship, right? And I think it's something that everybody knows what mentorship is all about. Let me just assume, like, we all hear that mentorship and all, but I don't think people still understand the importance, especially when it comes to business. Now, I really love what you guys are doing when it comes to trying to bridge the gap in the tech ecosystem in terms of the women and all. But regardless, however we see mentorship, whether for a male or female, still holds the same water. It's still how important it is for a female is the same way it's important for a male and all. And Brandtok here, we're all about trying to get business owners or entrepreneurs to understand or know the information, get the necessary information that gets them or get their businesses or brands performing better or help them in building their brand per se. Now, I want us to just go straight to the point. Let's start by talking about now what exactly is mentorship. When people say mentorship, what exactly is mentorship? And when you answer that, I also like to know what is mentorship and who is a mentor. Let's start with that.
Great. Thank you so much, IK. I probably should have called you Gabriel, but I'm used to IK, so
It's fine.
I would move on. I would move on to call you IK, which is what I'm familiar with and comfortable with. But yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks to the Brand Talk community for bringing me on board, and I'm super excited to be here. So first question you asked was, what is mentorship? And I would pretty much want to provide an Asian backstory about mentorship and its origin, which may or may not be true, but there is a poem around this. And a poet named Homer had written a poem in ancient Greece that's thought to date back to at least 3,000 years, right? And in this poem, it said that a king had gone to fight in the Trojan War and left his family, but he had stayed a longer period than he should. And so he had entrusted guardianship to his son and his royal household to a friend named Mentor. Now, there is a myth that at some point, Mentor became pretty much old and couldn't handle things anymore. And so a goddess named Athena had disguised herself to become Mentor. And she pretty much couldn't, she sort of decided that she was going to handle things in the house and be take on the guardianship of Odysseus' son, right? And so she sort of possessed the ability to nurture and could self-sacrifice in a devoting manner. And so this is the backstory. But in modern age, mentorship has now taken many forms. I tell you, whether it be structured or unstructured, formal or informal, reverse or group or peer-to-peer or one-on-one. It has taken many forms, and it all falls down into a relationship that brings people together, right? Where one person offers guidance, she or he offers support and encouragement, that is aimed at developing the other person's competence, whether it be their competence or their character or even their skill. So there is a potential for this person to grow and become valuable, while the other person who sort of is providing this guardianship, the other person experiences a deeper appreciation for the value that she or he has shared. And so this is pretty much what mentorship is.
All right. So now in this, you obviously made. I like the interesting story about Odysseus and all. Like I've watched the movie, I've read the book, but I haven't
Yeah.
seen it in this form. But so it's quite interesting. Now, it's from what I got, mentorship is it's a relationship. It's a relationship between two parties. It can be two people, it can be one person and a group and all. So let's talk about this relationship. Now, who is at the end of what? Now, who is the mentor or what is the mentor all about? And who is the other person at the other end receiving the guidance? Like, let's give a name to this, to the parties in this relationship.
Great. So I would possibly plainly describe a mentor as someone who has experience, right?
Yeah.
And a mentee would be someone who has, lesser experience on it. Can be anything, it can take any form. Either of the two are not determined. It's not determined by age. So some people, there is some sort of misconception that a mentor has to be older than a mentee. Well, if you ever know about reverse mentoring, then you would understand that, when it has to do with reverse mentoring, the mentor would probably be, say, 50 years old, or the mentee, sorry, would probably be 50 years old, while the mentor would be someone who is 25. So most people don't know about this, right? And that's why it cannot be really determined by age, you know. And it typically is an evaluation that is divided into two distinct types. But however, I will like to say that, in this case, we perceive that, just anyone can become a mentor or a mentee as long as they're willing to transfer knowledge. So it's not about age, it's not about, the gap differences or whatnot, but it's just that someone is willing to transfer knowledge and understands that the other person has a gap that needs to be filled. And, the mentor acts as a sounding board, that in most cases, whether you're old or you're young, you definitely want someone who has some sort of experience, and you need to bounce off your ideas once in a while on this person. And at the end of the day, we should remember that, there is a saying that, no one is useless in this world. Anyone who is willing to lighten the burden of another person, this is a mentor potentially. And so we need to, clear out that, conception that, a mentor has to be older than the mentee or whatnot. No, it's just someone who is willing to transfer knowledge, and the mentee is someone who is willing to grab onto that knowledge and is willing to grow and bloom in their own space.
It's interesting what you talked about because I was going to get to that when because we've always had this or you will call it a misconception or a conception, whatever it is. We've always had this thought, or we're from this school of thought that a mentor has to be someone that is older. So you have to be older than I am to be a mentee or to be a mentor to me and all. Well, we had that growing up, and I love the fact that you pointed this out because I heard something like this from my mentor. I remember one day he was just when in this sort of section, and of course our normal mentor-mentee sessions, and he just pointedly asked us like, "So who are you mentoring now?" He was trying to push us to go out there and start mentoring people. And you have to know that there are some of us that just recently joined the program, his mentoring program and all. And I believe like some of us are like, we just joined now, like we don't even know. Like, how can I just go out there and start, become a mentor, and then like I came to you to mentor me, and you're now pushing me out there to mentor someone else. And I remember something he said remarkably, and he said it's just exactly the same way, exactly what you said. It's about your willingness to share what you know, to share your experience. It's about your willingness, because we don't know that even the little we think we know, someone else is lacking in that area.
Exactly.
The gap you talk about, like there's someone that needs that little you know. And to you, you're providing so much value to that person, and that person automatically sees you as a mentor. So yeah, this is I really appreciate this. So you can't it's not for someone that is older. It's just mentorship. It's when a mentor is someone that is willing and ready.
Correct.
Let me just say, someone that is willing and ready to share.
Correct.
That. So having said that, now in the business world, because here at Brandtok, we're all about talking about things that help businesses, things that help business owners, entrepreneurs, like in the business setting per se, like is this important? Because people mostly see mentorship in terms of relationship, right? Uh, Spiritual guidance and all, like. But when it comes to business, when it comes to building a business, starting a company, when it comes to, let me use the creative world, when it comes to, or the tech ecosystem per se, is this really important? Is mentorship really important? And if it is, can you just throw more light to how important it is?
Right. So, it's very keen to note that it's not just important in the business world or in the business industry or to entrepreneurs or, anyone, but it is important in every industry. I love poetry. I'm a poet myself, and I know of a poet named Robert Frost who had said that in regards to mentoring, I am not a teacher, but an awakener. And when I thought about this, I'm like, what can this really mean? And to be honest, whether you're a mentee or a mentor, but as long as you are in the business industry, you need to be awakened. You need to be untapped. You need your possibilities to be untapped. You need to you need someone that would reinforce your value and affirm the presence that you have, and the contributions that you have. You need that reaffirmation, um, giving you that boost of confidence, someone that could tell you that yes, you can do it and you will do it. It's needed, especially in the business world, because the business world can be very tricky. It can be a war zone at some point. It can be sort of like you can be in the red waters. However, you need to learn how to persevere and navigate the challenges that you may never see coming your way. So it's essential that in the business world, as a mentee, as someone who is looking on to grow, to bloom, to increase, to scale, you need someone that would awaken you, someone that would help you to raise the bar, someone that would help you to learn how you can achieve your fullest potential. Because again, you have that potential in you, but you need someone that would tell you that, I need you to do better, be better, that you can be at that skill or at that zenith where you should be. And again, the business world can be, again, I would say, very competitive. Hence why if you're stepping into the business world, you need someone that would shorten that learning curve. So you don't have to spend so long in doing a lot of research or trying to figure out the nuances of how you can go about to be successful, right? You don't need to fall into a pit and then say, oh, I've learned my experience. You don't need that. You need someone to shorten that learning curve for you. And this is where a mentor comes in. This is where mentorship plays a huge impact. Again, you may get into the point in your business, in your organization, where you need someone to just sort of cheer you on and tell you, yes, you're doing this the right way. Well done. You need that accolade. Everyone sort of needs that accolade. And it's so important to understand that when someone is cheering you on, they're cheering you on your many achievements, because it's expected that at some level you have achieved, but you need someone to cheer you on and say, hey, you have done well. Look at the many achievements. And while acting as a listener, they would act as a listener to your struggles. That's where you're able to bounce off ideas on this person, and they're able to give you great feedback that can help you stay longer and keep you afloat potentially in the industry. And so this is why I think, businesses, they do for sure, in the business world, you need a mentor.
I like to back up the things you've said with a personal story. And well,
Okay.
first, I like to touch some things. Now, it's obvious that a mentor is a form of an accountability partner. That is,
Mm-hmm.
he or she keeps you accountable. I like what you said about he or she makes sure that, okay, this is what you need to achieve. And sometimes, especially when it comes to business, and especially when you're doing business in an amazing country like Nigeria, like sometimes
Exactly.
it can get really, really frustrating. Sometimes you want to,
Yeah.
sometimes you just want to, like, no, I can't do this. But that is where they come in. That is where they're like, okay, I'm gonna hold your hand and we're gonna get to this. Like, I'm gonna guide you to the finish line. I know. And it's interesting. I've never heard anyone call this mentorship relationship some sort of awakening. No, this is the first time, and it's really. And when I think of it deep down, that is exactly what mentorship is all about. It's about awakening the other person, because you really don't know all these things. All these attributes are buried deep inside of you. Sometimes we like to get comfortable with ourselves. Sometimes we don't necessarily like to take risks because we're rational people. We always look out for ourselves. But if you
Yeah.
can find that person outside that see beyond, like that, just see, okay, it's not just about taking risks, it's about unleashing that person in you. Okay, I like to use myself as example. Now, I recently started a business. I recently started a cake delivery business, and I remember like months back, about a couple of months ago, say about 6 months ago or so, I remember approaching my mentor about the entire business plan and everything. That this is what I want to do, and instantly, I remember meeting him, telling him, okay, I just want to go into the delivery business because, of course, COVID-19 happened 2020, and yeah, it kind of like unleashed a wave of so many delivery. People are now ordering online, getting their goods delivered at home. Not much people is going out anymore. So if there's something you can have someone get delivered to your house, why would you want to go out and all that? And the whole safety procedures and all. And the truth is that this is how the world is going to go going forward. Like, you will find out a lot of going outside to buy things activity are going to be decreasing as the years run by. So I feel like, okay, this is a very profitable market. Let me enter the market and all. So I met my mentor, and okay, this is what I want to do. And he looked at it and it's nice and all, but you need to niche this thing down. You need to niche it down. How about instead of just going into general delivery or general logistics, why don't you niche it down to a particular product? And then we'll look around. I stay in Abuja, and we look around, like currently there are about over 1,000 delivery businesses in Abuja. You can actually on your way home, on your way home, for someone like me, I can count like up to 15 different, I'm talking different businesses
Right.
every time I drive out. And it shows you like there are so many people in this industry now. And why do you want to go into that ocean and start competing with them? But you can niche out, you can carve out a niche, you can create a different category, a whole new category for yourself. And then we look like, of course, when it comes to food, there are about one or two that are already in the business in Abuja. But then there is nobody in the cake delivery business. There is nobody. Now, bakers or cake vendors have to utilize on taxis or their personal cars and all that, but there is no business that is in that business of delivering cake. And at first, I was quite spent, like I wasn't. It wasn't something I really accepted wholeheartedly at first because I felt like just cakes would that be profitable and all that. But just to cut this long story short, like it just shows shortening that learning curve. Like I got to understand that by niching down, I give myself enough room to expand. I give myself enough room in terms of even profit and all that. And aside that, I know of instances where I've gone to where I've had to run to him, or instances where I've had to push me, like you can do this, like
Yeah.
doing business in an amazing country like Nigeria and all like it's so I know of instances where he had to like tell me, okay, don't do it this way. Because I wanted to start with a bang. I wanted to start with, let's get this, let's get this. The whole adrenaline was pumping and all that. Like, okay, calm down now. This is
Yeah.
adrenaline is pumping and all that, but you need to calm down. You need to understand your market. Now, looking back and understanding the things he has helped me achieve and the things I've come to learn from his own experience, because he's been in business for over years, and it's not just because he's older, but because he has been the person that is willing to share when it comes to business wise, when it comes to helping me grow business wise and all that. Going back to what the whole mentorship relationship is all about. But he has been able to help me shorten that learning curve. That's exactly what I want to talk about. He has been able to help me shorten that learning curve. A wise man once told me that you learn two ways. You can either learn by other people's experience or you learn by your own experience. And the truth is, it's always painful when you learn by your own experience because it's happening to you. So that is where mentors play a role because we are supposed to learn from their own experience. We're supposed to, okay, this is where this is where the pitfalls are, and they're helping us out. And this is where I fell in my own time of trying to achieve this. Now, I don't want you to fall into this. I want you to like maneuver it, do it a different way, and all that. And what you said, mentorship cuts across all industries. I've looked and it has always been something that has guided me. Now, this is personally, and I know this is the same for thousands of other people, and especially for you guys that are in the business of actually creating this relationship. I know it's the same. So, this is important. It's obvious, it has been established that mentorship is important when it comes to business. In fact, when it comes to every aspect of life,
Yes.
relationship, business, whatever it is, mentorship is quite important. Now,
Correct.
I want to ask, when do I, as a mentee or someone that is looking for mentoring, when do I start looking out for mentors? Like, is there a particular period I get to before I know, okay, I need mentorship now? Or when you suggest as a mentee or someone that is looking for mentoring start engaging, and how do I go about, if I'm looking for a mentor, how do I go about identifying someone that I want to go under that mentor me?
Great question. So, some people will definitely get to a level where they really wouldn't know what's going on with them. Things may just be going downward,
Yeah.
and the economy is not favorable. The season itself it's not favorable. Nothing would sort of go into their favor anymore, and they possibly would still not understand what's going on with them. However, I think there's some level of discernment that you must have, to be honest, to know, okay, this is a time when I need to get help. And the truth is, when you're not exposed, you may not even understand that you need a mentor. However, there's some things that would sort of be pointers for you that can help you to identify that, okay, I think I need a mentor right now. And this would be when you have realized that you need a lift, when you have realized that you need to scale up, when it seems like you're drowning. Honestly, that's when you need a mentor. When it seems like you have been running in circles and you really haven't stopped. You haven't come out of that box. You're still boxed up. Nothing is working for you. When it seems like, or when you have realized that you need a secret weapon to help you, or whether it be in your career or even as an entrepreneur, when you realize that you need someone that would actually listen to you, someone that would give you great advice and support you every step of the way. When it seems like, the burden on your shoulders are just too much for you to carry, that's when you may have had been someone who over the years had a great network of people. You had the great resources, the great materials. You just had the fantastic opportunities. And it seems as though today everything is moving. You're doing the same thing over and over and over again. That's when you need a mentor. You need to understand that you need to stay afloat. Your business, your career needs to stay afloat. So, at the end of the day, to round it up, you would also understand that to some extent, not many people are able to control their emotions. And so, sort of look at it this way: your emotion controls your work, your emotion controls your life. A mentor can actually come in and act as, that man or woman of responsibility and tell you, hey, get a hold on yourself. Understand what's going on with you. You need some level of emotional intelligence. And only a mature person who has experience and has seen the challenges can actually help you and teach you on how to control your emotions. And this is pretty much why, or this is pretty much how you know that, okay, it's time for me to get a mentor. And that's how you go about it. And you had asked, how do I go about getting a mentor? Or how do I know this is the person for me? Again, you will know because, that bridge is now closed. The gap is now filled. Whatever it is that you had intentions for to get out of that relationship has been closed because, again, you cannot risk your future by sticking with someone who is draining you, than someone who would increase you. So make sure that, when you do go out to search for a mentor and when you do eventually get a mentor, ensure that she or he is someone who fills you up, potentially someone who fills you up, someone who gives you the right network, someone who acts as that sounding bird that that secret weapon that you need to be at the level that you should have been or you should be. So this pretty much answers the question.
Wow, like, this is amazing. Like, this is an eye opener, and even someone that has actively been in a mentorship program and also mentoring, I've come to learn a lot. I think that's why we always try to get the professionals in the field to talk to us about this here on Brandtok.
Correct.
So I just want us to round up by, let's talk about what you guys do with Wentors, and let's talk about the programs. Can you give us a bit more detail about what Wentors is all about and what your programs are like? for my female audience, because I'm pretty sure they might be interested in hearing this, because I've seen a lot
Mhm.
of your work and it's really amazing. But I'd just like you to talk to us about it.
Great. Thank you very much. So, I work with Wentors, and our mission here is to eradicate gender disparity globally. And this would be specifically in the tech ecosystem, where women, female experts all around the globe, and we're out to really nurture and support the next generation of women in technology. And we run a free mentorship program once a year. It's called the We Discover Mentorship Cohort. Now, this program holds once a year to mark International Women's Day. It allows us to accommodate women from all over the globe because we have, we're the experts when it has to do connecting female tech industry experts to other women who are seeking to connect with women that can help them and give them, that lift and skill. So it's an 8 weeks program that we run 1 hour per week for, that usually kicks off in March of every year, marking the International Women's Day. And we're super excited every time that we run this program because, aside the fact that we have fantastic feedback from women, we also tend to see the change in their lifestyle. So we accommodate women who are in their about to graduate from secondary school, or sorry, from university. We also accommodate women who are about to transition, from whether it be from any field to into the tech industry. And we also accommodate women who have 0 to 2 years of tech experience. So we connect them together. We're that plug potentially connecting these women together, creating the platform for change, being advocates of change. Aside the many other programs that we have and the many other services that we have, we're super excited, especially if you are interested. You can go onto our website. It's www.wentors.com. You can check out for more information, or you can even go on to sign up on the platform because we're so excited to welcome you on board and let you into the many opportunities that we have within our community.
Wow, amazing. And in case if you didn't get that, we'll drop the link to the website on the just go to the caption, you'll definitely find the link. Uh, Dorothy, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I don't know, before we let you go, please, if you have any last word for something you just want to drop, a few words you want to drop for someone that might be listening and asking myself, okay, now that I've heard this, what's the next action? Like, what should be my next action or my next action step?
Great. So, for that woman or that man that is listening today, the next actions for me, if I were in your shoes, would be to get up and get to work. Go into Google, search for the many communities that appeals to your field, to your area of specialization. Where exactly do you intend to grow? There are many people who would volunteer to help you out. You can go on LinkedIn and actually check them out, or you can come into our community and sign up and become a mentee that can help. Or if you're a mentor, we very much need you to come in and help that woman. Volunteer your time, dedicate your time, and support someone. But yes, if you're someone who needs that help, who wants to grow as soon as possible, get into work, stand up, get into the work, do the work for yourself, because at the end of the day, time waits for no one. So you need to use your time and you need to use it wisely.
Wow, you've heard that, folks, and use your time. You need to use your time and you need to use it wisely.